Hello everyone, welcome to this live stream, our only third live stream of the 25-26 season, but this game has such a great importance to it, I think I can't avoid it. I think I have to watch it, and it is really going to be very telling on what sort of competition we're going to get for the promotion race after this game has taken place. It is Ipswich versus Middlesbrough that we're covering today. Wow, what a huge game to call. And I will give my reaction to the games that took place yesterday and of course Friday, the news of Coventry City going back up to the Premier League for the first time in 25 years. So there's lots to talk through. Game week 44 is going to be a midweek game, so later today I'm going to be recording my predictions for those games. Video realistically probably will be out by Monday, hopefully, so it's going to be a very short turnaround, but it's the last midweek of the championship season. We have, I think, then game week 45 is an FA Cup weekend, so we'll have 11 games with the fact that Southampton are still in the competition, and then of course their game was already played. Actually, there was Blackburn, wasn't it? They're going to have their extra game against Ipswich as well, so it's just got two cup finals really in terms of securing top two status. They've now fallen out of the top two following Millwall winning yesterday, so they now need to ensure that they right the wrongs and they are able to beat Middlesbrough this time around. And I'm just seeing the highlights for the reverse fixture as well. A very bad own goal to concede for the first one, well worked goal for the second one, Whitaker of all people scoring, and then ultimately penalty miss as well. So lots of fine margins defined that game, but it was a victory of course to Middlesbrough. Ipswich will be hoping that that is not going to happen again this time and they will win. But from Middlesbrough's point of view, win this game, we're realistically seeing 4 teams going chasing for one place, which is unbelievable. It really is. So that are the permutations. I will give you the squads very soon. Johnny, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Your prediction is 2-1 to Ipswich. I would like to have the same confidence as you are with Ipswich, but this is going to be a tough game. It is their penultimate home game of the season, so the only other home game after this one is against Queen's Park Rangers. The rest of the games are away games. They've got Charlton in midweek. They have got West Brom, which is a huge game, by the way. And then, of course, an even bigger game in a couple of days after that is Southampton. So I am going to have the assumption that a lot of people might be having Southampton as the favourites of getting into the top 2, and I don't blame them because of their form at this moment of time. Bromley playing Leicester next year looks like it's 99% certain now. Yes, yeah, I know. So complete opposite ends of fortune and mood for both of these clubs. It really is. So Bromley got promoted without even kicking the ball yesterday because Notts County failed to beat Barnet at Meadow Lane despite having the best home record. Or I don't know if it was the best home record, but they scored the most goals in League 2, Notts County and Meadow Lane. So because Barnet got a much needed win to keep their playoff hopes alive, because of that, Notts County know they can't catch Bromley. So Bromley are officially a League 1 club, unbelievably. So was it 2 seasons I spent in League 2 to now get promoted? That is an unbelievable rise from Bromley. And I will be intrigued to see how they get on with their League 1 status for next year. But then for Leicester, obviously we are in a position now, which I will talk through Leicester when I go through the table. And in fact, I've not checked to see if capture was going to work, so we might have issues with that. But let me just multitask and at least get the right graphic for this. I don't know why it always does that. Okay. Bromley did draw their 44th game on, yeah. I know, well, yeah, they technically did kick a ball. Yeah, I get that. But when they got promotion confirmed, they didn't, play football. So ultimately, their promotion was decided by other teams being played. But no, I get that. They did play, I think, Thursday. Yeah, you're right. Where it was a 0-0 draw to Cambridge. kind of like been limping over the line a little bit with their promotion. It was a defeat against MK Dons and then a draw against Cambridge. I mean, to be fair, two teams around them in the table, so I can't necessarily blame them for being a bit nervy, being in that promising position. So, yeah, no, I absolutely get that. Right, we are definitely getting a little bit sidetracked. Let's have our main focus on Ipswich and Middlesbrough. I'm going to hope the capture's going to work. It might not, because it is Alexa stream. It's always the case. Yep, just inevitable, isn't it? The capture's not working. Apologies, guys. So, could I exit? No, it's not there. Damn. Okay, hang on. Give me 2 seconds to fix this. Just need to give me a little bit of time. In the meantime, whilst you see me with a black screen, feel free to leave your score predictions if any of you are around and have made predictions for this game. I predicted a draw, actually, for this game. Majority have gone for an Ipswich win because I would say it's down to Middlesbrough's downturn in form. But this is a huge game for both teams, and I would not be surprised if Middlesbrough throw the kitchen sink at this, knowing that a win here, and suddenly their poor form kind of gets a little bit forgiven, because then they're now back in contention of getting promoted out of the Championship. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, I will make this work. Sorry, guys. I will fix this for you. Here we go. Took forever, but we got it to work. So ultimately, I wanted to give myself loads of time to start the stream, and I still started late. Essentially, my Microsoft 365 subscription ran out, which was not ideal, because I then had to sign up for a free trial to actually make the graphics I want to edit for today. So yeah, not an ideal world, and I actually got to think ahead. How am I going to deal with that in terms of future videos and stuff? But moving on from that, that's a me problem. The problem we face today is trying to call this intense game between Ipswich and Middlesbrough. As I mentioned in the intro, Middlesbrough got the better of Ipswich last time around, all the way back in the middle of October. I remember watching this game, actually. Whittaker scoring for Middlesbrough. I think it was Cedric Kipre that got an own goal to make it 2-0. Darrell O'Shea made it 2-1, but a big moment in the game was when, I don't know if it was Hurst that stepped up and missed a penalty. So it was a huge top-of-the-table clash. Middlesbrough got the better of Ipswich in that time around, but things have changed and have shifted ever so slightly. But what we have now is a must-win game for both sides. It's a must-win game. If Middlesbrough don't win, it is certainly playoffs that are confirmed for them. Well, even with that, you know, I've got to be honest, they are not a million miles ahead of Hull, Wrexham and Derby. Now, they might be graced by the fact that there's only 3 games left, so I don't believe they're going to be caught in this position, but their form is certainly not encouraging Middlesbrough. For Ipswich, so they were looking pretty good, but then that defeat against Portsmouth has now made things a little bit vulnerable. So the squads look like this. You've got Walton, Davis, Greaves, O'Shea and Furlong as a back 4. I'm not massively shocked at that. You've got Taylor and Matusiwa as the double midfield pivot. You then have a front 4 of Jaden, Philogene, Nunes, Casey McAteer and Ivan Azon. So Ivan Azon starting up front, which I think is quite interesting actually. But I can see Philogene being a very important player today. For Middlesbrough, Brim, Staines and goal, Malanga, Fry and Ayling as the back 3. I'd say this is probably going to be more of a back 5. You've got Target and Britton being the wing backs here. You've got Alan Brown, Morris, Gilbert as the midfield 3. And then a strike partnership of Tommy Conway and Strelic. Again, not too shocked with that starting lineup. Jared Gillet is the referee. That's interesting. So then subs, you've got Palmer, Johnson, Kipre, Clark, Neil, Mehmeti, Hurt, Egeli and Akpom. I mean, looking at that bench for Ipswich, they have got so many options Like, Jack Clark's not even starting the game. Dan Neil, I've got to say, when I've been seeing him, I've been quite impressed with him. Mehmeti has done okay since he's joined as well. Egeli's been doing okay as well. So I've got to say, I think the bench for Ipswich is very strong. For Middlesbrough, yeah, Whittaker's not starting. He's on the bench as well. Hansen, Severa, Sarmiento, who obviously has had some history. I think I'm thinking of the right player. Yeah, Sarmiento has had some history as an Ipswich Town player 2 seasons ago. George Edmondson also has had some history as well with Ipswich. So a couple of players involved in Ipswich on the bench, and then injuries and suspensions: Townsend, Button, Burns, and Ashley Young. And if I am right, if I look at the squad, okay, yeah, everyone, yeah, no major omissions from what I'm seeing here. Right, so these are the lineups. I would say that both teams have got options off the bench that they could rely on if needed, and that, I think, is a testament to why they are up there in the Championship, because they have got a pretty deep squad in comparison to a lot of the teams, especially quality-wise as well. Bromley have got the second most draws in the league with Cambridge. Oh, okay, that's a bit interesting. That might be something that might factor thinking of League One next year, whether Bromley may be guilty of not turning enough draws into wins, possibly. It's really going to be interesting to see what sort of lineup we're going to get. We already know Rotherham and Northampton are going to be relegated from League One to League Two. Port Vale look like that they are going to join them, although they are fighting hard to try and delay the inevitable. It feels like that final place, though, looks like it's a bit of a shootout at the moment between Exeter and Wimbledon. Burton could be dragged in. Peterborough could still be dragged in. There's no, guarantees that they could be safe as well. So, yeah, League One's quite exciting and very, very competitive, as it always is. But top 2 has already been sorted. Yeah, Exeter's goalkeeper scored, which was very dramatic, because not only was it a brilliant point for Exeter, they would have definitely preferred 3 points, but the fact they got a point and the fact that Wimbledon didn't, it's a 1-point gain. With 2 games left, with 2 points off safety, Exeter will feel with their performances they could maybe gain some momentum and get some belief that they could get themselves out of this. But that incredible draw, that equaliser from the goalkeeper, meant that Cardiff secured promotion back to the Championship yesterday. So it was this case where Cardiff needed to better Stockport's results. So they were pretty much mathematically up after this game week anyway, for the fact that they beat Reading because of the goal difference between them and Stockport. But to get the points to mathematically confirm going up, Stockport needed to fail to win and Cardiff to win. And both those things happened. And for the case of Stockport, it was down to that Exeter goalkeeper getting that last-minute equaliser. It was really, really quite insane. Very important goal, which obviously has settled the promotion race and could be a dramatic twist in the relegation race. So those are the sort of moments you think, wow, what a moment. And it'll be... Oh, so sorry. If Exeter stay up, that would be a huge moment that they will never, ever forget. I don't know why I'm so tired today. Maybe I need the game to start just to kind of keep me engaged. I even had caffeine already today. High tide relegation. Exeter's final 2 are Burton and Bradford. Oh, now very possibly if Exeter get a result against Burton, that drags Burton automatically back in. But Burton are above Wimbledon, as I know. I don't know what the final games are for Wimbledon. I don't know if they're facing any of the already relegated sides, but even with that, already relegated Rotherham picked up a good result against Leyton Orient. In fact, I didn't even mention Leyton Orient. Leyton Orient are still in trouble as well. They're not safe. I knew I was forgetting one side when I was listing up the sides around 50 points. Yeah, Leyton Orient as well are not safe either. So there's at least, I would say, 4 teams that could go down to that final relegation place. It's quite insane. Really, really is. Right, 5 minutes to go. Thank you to Johnny for basically tuning in and keeping me engaged. I've already shared it. Yeah, shared it. Yeah, shared it on the Discord as well, haven't I? Yeah, I have. Okay, well, whoever wants to come to the stream, you know, it's down to them really. I'm gonna still watch the game. With bated breath, I would say. Certainly, haven't got too much. Well, I still got a slight affiliation with Ipswich with the fact that they have given me my current job position. Not the club, of course, but the area in Ipswich I will have an affiliation to. God, that's going to be a really packed out crowd here. I can already just play the sort of scenes in my head in terms of the build-up of getting into the stadium. It really is just insane. Oh my gosh, Leyton Orient versus Burton on the final day. So Burton, their last two games are against relegation rival sides. Oh, blimey. Wow. It's down to Burton if they want to stay up. They may only need to win against one of those sides to stay up, though. So, gosh, it's a tough one, this. If I had to put money on it, I still think 2 points for Exeter might be too much to breach AFC Wimbledon. AFC Wimbledon will probably be my next pick to go down because their form has certainly not been encouraging, although I do not know what Wimbledon's last two games are. If I have to face, I don't know, Northampton or anyone like that, I think they might be okay. But yeah, Wimbledon's form has fallen off a cliff in 2026. Oh, Burton's got 3 games. Oh, so Burton have got a game in hand. Oh, that's important. Peterborough, Exeter, and Orient. All right, yeah, so 3 sides. 3 sides in danger. So 3 opportunities for Burton to pull themselves away. And I think Burton will be okay, actually. I think a lot of people assume Burton will eventually go down, and possibly they will one day, but they just keep on fighting. Okay, so the teams are now walking out. Oh my gosh, this is a huge, huge game. Ipswich in their blue, and of course Middlesbrough in their red. Oh, so Wigan and Huddersfield. If they don't get anything against Wigan, I think that is their hopes done. Huddersfield might also be okay because Huddersfield were involved in a very dramatic game against Bolton where they failed to hold on. They conceded a late equaliser, and I think that is going to potentially bring curtains to their playoff hopes. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Right. So let's remind everyone the permutations of this game, and I think what we got to do. The flares are going off. Right. Let's show the black screen again. Oh, come on. Why is it not working now? Oh, that's really annoying. It was working. There we go. Right. Oh my gosh, why did it take so long? So, Ipswich are 3rd. Middlesbrough are 5th. Both separated by 3 points. Middlesbrough's goal difference, by the way, I've not actually paid attention, is plus 20. Get a result here. If they win by a 2-goal margin, that's a 4-goal swing already. Wow. And that can already make things very, very exciting. So a win for Middlesbrough will be a 3-way tie between 3rd and 5th, and Millwall will only be 1 point clear in 2nd. Ipswich win, no. They'll be on 2 points clear of Millwall with a game in hand against Southampton, of course. We can only just say this, it's a must-win game for both sides. It really, really is. Talk Fan TV, welcome to the stream. Going to Bournemouth and versus Leeds. Fantastic. I've forgotten when they play. No, they play in Bournemouth and Leeds. I mean, certainly for Bournemouth, they'll be having aspirations of getting into European football. And for Leeds' point of view, they are probably feeling quite relaxed now because they are 8 points clear. Oh, on Wednesday. Oh, very soon. Well, do go and enjoy it. That's quite exciting and really nice midweek game for you there. Yeah. Honestly, that is a really, really good I would hope that's a really, really good game, actually. Bournemouth, unbeaten. Was in their last 12 unbeaten, which is an insane run of form for Bournemouth's point of view. Leeds, of course, though, having won, was it 2 games in a row at least? They've got an 8-point gap between them and Spurs. I think they might be okay from the drop, I think they're going to be safe for another championship season. So for the last time, let's quickly go through the teams. We have got literally a minute before kickoff, so I'll be very quick with this. Ipswich, they've got Walton, Davis, Greaves, O'Shea, Furlong as the back four, Matsushima, Jack Taylor as the double midfield pivot. You've got a front four of Philogene, Nunes, McAteer and Ivan Azon up front in the bench. They have got the likes of Jack Clark to call upon, Dan Neil, Anis Mehmeti, George Hurst, Egeli, all can come off the bench and get an impact. Chuba Akpom, this is against his former side where he had a really real breakout championship season there, so potentially he could go on and flip pain against his former club. For Middlesbrough, you've got Bryn, Maladena, Dale Fry, Luke Ayling, Callum Britton, Alan Brown, Aidan Morris, Gilbert, Matt Target, Tom Conway and Strelic. Right, they've just kicked off, and then for the bench you've got Whitaker, who scored against Ipswich in the last game they played, Sarmiento, who has had history with, of course, Ipswich 2 seasons ago, Edmondson, also history with Ipswich as well. So lots of players, well, I say lots, a couple of players facing against their former club, and can they inflict pain on them if they get called upon? So game has literally just kicked off. Nothing to report. It is Middlesbrough on the ball. I will start the timer very, very soon, just to find a really convenient time to do it. Honeygun, welcome to the stream. Harry, I hope you are doing well. Good to see you. Yeah, it is good because I don't necessarily get the opportunity often to catch up with you guys. So it's a real good, Palmer, careful. There you go. So, based on what I've seen in this game at the moment, oh, that's very naughty. A very naughty challenge there from Conway there. Is he going to get booked? He's only going to have a word. That's a very naughty challenge on Conway on Darnell Furlong there. I mean, I get it. He's pressing very intensely, trying to get the ball. Oh, yeah. Probably correct to let it off for now with only 1 minute in. I think if he's giving yellow cards for that within that early stage of the game, I think he would lose control over it. But this is the sort of vibe I think we're going to get. I think you've got a Middlesbrough team looking really fired up at the moment. Ipswich need to ensure that they just keep calm, right now. Oh, this is a really good ball, and Gilbert couldn't keep it on. And my Sky has just disconnected. Come on. Please reconnect. We've only had 2 minutes of a game. Right, slowly coming back. Apologies, there we go. Literally 2 minutes, and my TV's already trying to disconnect on me. It's doing a goal bridge on me. Right. Just trying to sort out the timer. Let's start it in the next 10 seconds or so. Hard to believe the World Cup is coming up in just over a month. I know. Honestly, it has really come out of nowhere. And I don't know how I feel about the build-up. I always am a bit sceptical about feelings with the World Cup, just because England don't win it. Right, hang on, Jack Taylor, and then there's an attack going on for Ipswich, and it comes to nothing in the end. Leif Davis tries to loop a delivery in, and it's comfortably caught by Bryn. That's the first bit of moment of quality from Ipswich there, I guess. Their first meaningful attack here. Okay, I'm already noticing there's quite a big amount of space in the central midfield area, which Ipswich are trying to exploit at the moment. If I was Kim Hellberg, I'll be asking the central midfield players to kind of fill those spaces a bit. I think they've been camped back a little bit. And I think when you set up with a 5 at the back, I think naturally that is a lot more likely that space will be opened up. That's a good ball again. Good defending in the end. Before that, Huddersfield scored a 106th minute win away at Orient. Yeah, a late show when it comes around to Huddersfield Town. 3 consecutive games for Huddersfield, conceding 3 late equalisers in a row. Phew, that's utter pain. Ailing, swinging a little bit, and yeah, free kick is awarded in Ipswich's favour. Nunes is the one that draws the foul. Huddersfield will be in the playoffs by now if they hadn't his free, because I said, oh yeah, and that just shows the sort of cruelty of those fine margins. Right, Nunes has got a free kick on the right hand side, I'd say about 20 yards out. He goes for goal. I don't know why he goes for goal. It's not a wicked delivery, and it comes to be caught by Bryn. Okay, well, I would say it was Middlesbrough the first minute, but the last 3 or 4 minutes, it has been Ipswich now starting to take control of this game. I will remind you that a draw for Ipswich brings them back in the top 2, but only by goal difference, as Millwall are really closing in on them. This is some good play from Ipswich there. Nunes, Villagine, they want an offside flag being raised. No one yet is raising it. Taylor, back to Taylor. Azon, oh, it's lost in a very crucial stage. No foul, I don't think. Yep, no foul given. I tell you what, Ipswich having some really good passages of play at the moment. Here's Casey McAteer now with the cross. Shot. Ooh, close. Close from Ivan Azon. That's our first meaningful opportunity of the game. Through ball. McAteer, that's a pretty good ball. Azon with a back heel, trying to flick it towards the goal. I think Bryn would have had it covered. It wasn't the most powerful of strikes from Azon. Just a little bit of an improvised effort. I mean, it was sort of caught in a hard place there. He could have tried to dummy it and give it to Villagine with a stronger strike, but it's a hard one. I think if you don't know your players there, ultimately you have to take some sort of improvised shot. Ipswich doing well. They've been winning the ball back a lot better, Ipswich, in the past 4 minutes or so. Is anyone surprised how poor Leicester have been this season? They've looked pretty dead and buried. I certainly have been shocked of Leicester's downturn of form in 2026. I know they haven't been amazing, even at the first half of the season, but they haven't been nowhere near like showing relegation fears. But then I think a lot of people will say the points deduction kind of came at a very inconvenient time of the season. What I would say now is that without the points deduction, Leicester will now be in a bottom 3. Hang on, there's an attack going on for Middlesbrough here. This is their best attack of the game so far. Here's Matt Target. Chance to find Strelec. And it doesn't quite fall kindly to him, although he's won it back. Nice play for Middlesbrough here, but good defending by Dara O'Shea. Right, that was a pretty good attack there, actually, from Middlesbrough. They have got some threats in the middle of the park who drew that attack there. But, yes, certainly, I think Cifuentes getting dismissed, I would say at the time, it felt like it needed to be done, but it's a strange one. It is a really strange sort of situation, and I think this is a case for me where I just think the players have not been up for it. I really don't think they have, and it kind of highlights the success that Enzo Maresca had with that Leicester squad to get pretty almost an entirely identical squad to be as free-flowing and as free as they were to win the championship. But then I think it's then that decision when they go into the Prem offered almost next to nothing, and I think then they felt sorry for themselves that they're now in this revolving door of being yo-yoing up divisions, and now they're going to be going in the opposite end of what they wanted to go. And yeah, bad characters, bad leadership, and just an all-round bad cohesiveness in the squad, and clearly have not bounced, since Gary Rowett has come in. So I feel for Gary a tiny bit, because it does look like he's going to contribute to 2 relegations this season with Oxford and Leicester. I still think there is a manager there that can do well in the EFL, but certainly as of right now, his stock is certainly going to decrease in value, considering as well he only recently got Birmingham involved in the relegation as well. Not directly his fault, of course, but was involved in it too. I will be able to answer this question because right at this moment of time, the game has slowed down ever so slightly. It is Ipswich currently holding possession of the ball, but some decent aggression going on from Middlesbrough here. They've not made it too easy for Ipswich so far. Imagine all the sticks Arsenal have got for the football they have been playing for the majority of the season, only for him to win the trophies in style. Arsenal, yes. So, big game coming up with them playing against Manchester City. And ultimately, it certainly feels that this is their biggest opportunity since the 03-04 season to win the Premier League. They had an unbelievable moment in 22-23, but I think, again, it is the very first time that Arsenal have done absolutely amazingly in a title race. So it was going to be expected that they were going to probably fall short eventually. But now they've done it year after year falling short. This has now got to be where they essentially become from boys to men. And to get the final hurdle sorted and to get them to win the Premier League. I'm just sort of engaged in this game at the moment because it's very, very aggressive, actually. Middlesbrough certainly leaning some heavy tackles at the moment. Certainly they feel that actually leaning in those tackles is going to disrupt the play, which, you know, is fair. That is what I probably would expect majority of the sides playing Ipswich would do. Christian Walton on the ball at the moment, so he's kind of got regained his #1 position. It was Alex Palmer starting in goal, but got to be careful here. A bit of miscommunication at the back. Bit of miscommunication from Middlesbrough, but they get away with it. Melander and Bryn, and I gotta say, I think Ipswich have got to do that more. A long ball had nearly caught Middlesbrough out there. It's a really good recovery. Both Melander and Bryn do just about enough to put Leif Davis and Jalen Philogene off. But goodness me, that is certainly the most gasping moment at the moment. But here come Middlesbrough again. They've been doing okay, Middlesbrough, actually. Good play. They want a handball. I don't think they're going to give a penalty for that. No, Jared Chile is not going to be happy with that. They want a penalty. Middlesbrough, for me, yeah, he's gestured like this, meaning that there's no chance he can get his hand out of the way. Ultimately, he doesn't raise his arm. It is a natural position. It's one of those things that it just somehow catches him. To me, not a penalty. That would be incredibly harsh to give a handball for that, because he certainly doesn't intend to raise his arms. He actually keeps them very dead straight to sort of keep his body size as small as possible. So it's just one of those things with that point of view there. I think correct decision, that's what I meant to say. But again, this is a slight worry for Ipswich at the moment, because Middlesbrough have been doing pretty well down the right-hand side, especially, which is Leif Davis's area. All pretty poor defensively there. I tell you what, that is twice in 2 minutes now where Middlesbrough have been pretty lackadaisical at the back. And if they carry on, their luck will run out. So, kind of, there's an edginess to this game, which I think is to be expected. It's a huge game with lots riding on the line. And the team that wins will ultimately be the one who keeps the most composure and makes the less mistakes. But it's still 0-0. Ultimately, it was just moments where they've made mistakes, but nothing too, it's not like a gilt-edged chance that Ipswich have missed in both of these occasions. Wonder how the Premier League will be. That's going to be a free kick for Ipswich. Alan Brown conceding the foul there on Jack Taylor. How the Premier League will be impacted with Tottenham being relegated. That does make this quite interesting, honestly. It is an interesting debate whether commercially the Premier League will suffer for Spurs going down. I don't know. I really do not know. it's hard to know how effective they will be because we haven't really seen anything as unprecedented like that, especially not in our lifetime. So, no, it's a difficult one. I don't know how they would react to that, to be honest. That's a good free kick header. Oh, it's defended well. Okay. Offside being given against McAteer there. That was not the smartest thing of McAteer to do. Yeah, he's offside. McAteer, that is not really good football on your part. Could have just let the ball go out of play. Would have won a throw in, but no, he didn't think about his offside position there. That's pretty poor from McAteer there. Okay, so, I mean, ultimately, the Premier League have been okay with the likes of Leeds or Aston Villa going down, but I think, again, there's no comparison. There's really no comparison. Like, if Spurs go down, it will be incredible. It really will be. I, however, think Spurs won't go down. What I saw yesterday, I don't think they'll go down. I really do. I don't think they'll go down. I personally think Spurs only need... If they even get one win, Spurs, it'll be encouraging. I think only Spurs need to win 2 games. Just 2. That's all I think they'll need. 2 wins in their last 5 puts them on 37, and I actually think that'll be okay. My personal pick for who I think is going down, and obviously that theory is going to be really tested later today, is, in my eyes, Nottingham Forest. I think they're going down. I don't want them to go down, but that's how I see this season going. Oh, I didn't realise Peterborough and Burton were playing today. Ah, okay. Why have they moved it to a Sunday? That's really interesting. Okay. I didn't realise that they were playing today. Right, okay, I'll pay attention to that. Here's Jaden Philogene against Luke Ayling. Matthew Siwa now, who have not seen a terrible deal of. Jack Taylor, he's going to spread it wide to Leif Davis. Got Callum Britton and Alan Brown to deal with. He tries to find Ivan Azon. Yeah, it's not really been happening for Ivan Azon at the moment. It's not been a great impact. I would personally get George Hurst on as soon as possible, and Jack Clark. I think those two need to be on the pitch to open this Middlesbrough side up. Although, what I will say, they're not camping their box at the moment. Again, just not the greatest efforts. It's a shot, I guess, but it's a shot just outside the box. Takes a couple of deflections, and yeah, it's just an easy save from Bryn. I wouldn't think that Kieran McKellar is going to be happy with how little his side have created so far. Although this could be a good opportunity here. Oh, I probably wouldn't have done that to Philogene, but let's see what they can do with it. I think they're knowing that Philogene is the most creative player currently on the pitch. I think him and Jack Clark have been creatively the better players for Ipswich this season. Taylor with a shot. Oh, this could be going to Azon. Oh, I think he's on as well. And I think it's a corner for Ipswich. Okay, this is, I think, the closest anyone's gone scoring. I think Jack Taylor actually goes for the shot, but it finds Ivan Azon in an onside position. And I think it is going to be a corner. Yes, it is. So it goes just wide off the post. It's not the most powerful strikes, but the deflection means it's a corner. Just checking notifications. Yeah. There's a scenario that Tottenham could be 3 points behind both West Ham and Leeds coming to the final day. Well, yeah, I know Leeds and West Ham play against each other on the final day. Yeah. So they could take the draw and relegate Spurs. Yeah. That can happen. Just don't know if it can. Just don't know if it will, though. No penalty, yeah, I agree. Ipswich won the penalty now, but for me, not enough contact at all. The thing that's a relegation 6-pointer in League One. Yeah, okay, well, I get that, but I don't know. I felt like they could have maybe put it as a half-12 or, you know, one of those ones. But okay, that's fair enough. It is a huge game. No, it's not local. No, it's not local at all. Peterborough are more more or less nearish Cambridgeshire area, with Burton being more or less in the Trent area. Yeah, so Spurs have got Everton in the last game as their last game of the season. But I'll tell you why I think Forest are going down, and I do think a large contribution to this is their Europa League, because I personally think Forest have not won enough in their last couple of games. They've drawn against Villa, which I think they should have won recently. They drew against Wolves, which I think they should have won recently as well. There's been other games which they've either drawn or lost by 1 goal, where they've lost points in very crucial games. They've got tough games coming up, Forest. I think they could beat Chelsea, and I think they could beat Newcastle. But Bournemouth and Manchester United, they still have to play. Those would be 2 tough games for them. It will be 2 tough games for them. And then, well, a big factor of why I think they could go down is their whole Europa League. Hang on, there's an attack going on from Ipswich. Nunes to Casey McAteer. He just about gets past Ayling. Cross comes in. Headed clear by Melenda. Gets good defending there. But Philogene picks the ball back up. Oh, that's an interesting ball. That finds Nunes. Oh, and it's good. Oh, I was going to say, Stradek's probably quite unlucky not to win a free kick there. Philogene, back to Leif Davis. I will get back to what I was going to talk about. Just need to see this attack. Jack Taylor. Nunes. Headed clear. Corner Ipswich. So, a big part of what I think we need to consider is Nottingham Forest with their Europa League tie against Aston Villa. The first leg is played at home at the City Ground. And I personally think Villa could get Champions League without winning Europa League, but it's really just down to what they want in their season. And I don't know, Aston Villa is going to be a very big factor on what happens here, because they play against Forest on the Thursday, and literally 3 days later, after playing Forest, Aston Villa play Spurs. And Spurs would have had a full week to prepare, whilst Aston Villa would have only had 3 days. And I personally think, on paper, maybe with the exception of Chelsea, that is the highest ranked side that Spurs have to play. So, personally, I think their involvement, Aston Villa, with Nottingham Forest in the Europa League, I think is going to be a massive factor in this relegation battle. So, that's what I personally think. I think it will fatigue Forest, and I think it will catch Aston Villa playing. That's a really good. Oh, okay, offside. Good save by Walton, but Strelec is in an offside position. So personally, I think that's why we could get a situation like that. Aston Villa's involvement in Europa League, Nottingham Forest's involvement in Europa League, I think will fatigue Forest, and it has been, I think, a main reason of why they've not been able to dig deep and convert these draws into wins. But I think it will leave Aston Villa vulnerable, with Spurs smelling blood. And I personally think what we are going to see with Spurs is that the more games they play under De Zerbi, the better they're going to be. That's how I see it. But honestly, in terms of I think West Ham will finish above Spurs. I do think West Ham will finish above Spurs. Free kick awarded to Ipswich. But for me, Spurs will finish 17th and Forest will go down. I do. Now, of course, they could beat Burnley within the next hour and a half, and they will develop a larger gap between them and Spurs. I get that. But then 5 games left of the season, you can get a maximum of 15 points. So still, there's lots that could swing for and against their favour here. Right, another attack for me for Ipswich. Lots of attacking down the right side. This is a good option here. Shoot! Oh, that's a really bad miss from Darnell Furlong. This is the first time I saw an attack where Ipswich managed to counter pretty well and had some open spaces. Right, it was actually Nunes that starts it off. Azon, that's a wicked pass from Nunes there. Oh, Furlong. not really the player you want in that position there. He just doesn't even hit the target. Oh, goodness me. Some real nearly moments there, but not quite enough to get the opening goal. The momentum has certainly switched a little bit. I think it's certainly more more in favour for Ipswich's point of view there. Okay, hang on. So we have got Nunes again on the ball. Luke Ayling does well to put him off. Okay, and referee's just giving the advantage to Middlesbrough there. You still get out of their half. Points pressure for survival. As I said, I think... Ooh, it is hard. So a win for Forest puts them on 36, doesn't it? Oh. Really tough. That's really tough to know how many points you need for survival. Ooh, wicked ball from Middlesbrough there, but it's well defended from Ipswich. Yeah, I would say probably 38. Hang on. Oh, in! It's a goal! It's given as well. Yeah, no offside. We have an away goal. It is Middlesbrough who have scored with pretty much their first meaningful opportunity of the game. Unbelievable. 25 minutes in, and this is a major setback for Ipswich Town. It is a really, really good pass. Oh, I think he's just played on. That is a brilliant first-time pass there. It is a very simple goal. Just a simple tap in there. Oh, my goodness me. Is it Gilbert that scores? No, it's Strelec. Strelec is the one who scores the tap in. I wanted to see who did the pass. Wow. Very simple in the end. Very, very simple. Just took one moment of quality there. I couldn't quite see who did that pass. It probably was Morris who did that pass. Oh my gosh. Well, that is really bad news for Ipswich right now. Really bad news for Ipswich. What that means is that we have got a situation now, if we get the table up, 1 point separates 5th and 2nd. Wow. Unbelievable. Wow. And personally, I think if Ipswich don't win this game, I think they will get playoffs, because I see Southampton overtaking them. I do. Millwall, there's even a chance that Mill could be ahead of Ipswich as well, you know, because I think Millwall's run of games are quite favourable. Ipswich need to win. They have to win this game. There's no doubt about it. They have been looking the more likely to score, but then we have just seen there that Middlesbrough have got that sort of attack in their locker, and they could easily attack them there. And it's another attack in their right-hand side. Oh, right. Free kick awarded for Ipswich there. A bit frustrating for Tommy Conway there. Nunes. But I tell you what, the man marking for Middlesbrough has been really good. And that, I think, is what has really affected Ipswich, because they've not been able to find the areas of space as easily as they have done. Oh, and they keep doing these little flicks. Azon especially loves to do them, and he's not done them very, very well. Race for that second automatic spot is going right down to the wire. It really is. But I could tell you right now, the team who I back to finish second is Southampton, if it goes this way. Ipswich need to win if they need to convince me that they will be a favourite getting second. They have to win. I don't necessarily see them enjoying playing against Charlton if it's going to be anything like the reverse fixture. West Brom will be tough. It was a very tough game against them last time, and with West Brom fighting for their lives, even though they've got a bit of a gap now with a potential points deduction looming. They've got every motivation to play. Of course, Southampton will look at that game against Ipswich thinking that they could definitely take them out and replace them with a automatic promotion space, and then it ends with them playing against QPR, where by that point it might be too little too late. So, yeah, I can't see this clearly enough. Ipswich need to win this game. They have to win. There's no options about it. Mighty entertaining for the neutral. As I said, 1 point separates 5th and 2nd. So that's 4 sides going for 1 position in the table, which is amazing. It means as it stands, Mill stay 2nd. That is a really good attack from Ipswich. Goal! What a goal this is! That is an unbelievable strike from Casey McAteer. And so slick. Wow, what a response. 4 minutes it took for Ipswich to go back level. Wow, what a game we've got on our hands here. This is amazing. This could be a brilliant game. Wow. And McAteer, another big goal from him. He scored one quite recently. Right, another good pass. Azon. Well, I was actually kind of belittling his little flicks. That one was a good one. Oh, now should Bryn have saved it? I'm going to see this again. This is probably not the right angle for it. I need to see if Bryn probably should have saved it. I mean, what a bit of skill that is from Azon to get it past Del Fry. Shot. Oh, goalkeeper doesn't get down quickly enough, but it would have been tough for him to save because it was a real rocket of an effort there. McAteer just bent it with so much power down in the bottom corner, and right now that makes it 1-1, and now it is as you were. Unbelievable. Middlesbrough have conceded their lead, and it didn't last more than 4 minutes. Unbelievable. And we've still got 15 minutes of this half. Oh my gosh. What a game we could potentially have on our hands. And now it means that Ipswich jump from 4th back up to 2nd. Unbelievable. Incredible even. And Middlesbrough means it stays, they stay 5th on 73 points as it stands. It means they're 3 points off automatic promotion. So, I mean, it's a huge game for both sides. It really is, because Middlesbrough lose, it kind of ends any hope they had on automatic promotion. For Ipswich's point of view, you know, lose this one, then suddenly they are quite vulnerable of losing that automatic promotion place. So, goodness me, it's just a really big game. It's a big game for both of these sides, but I really did not expect for them to get back to level terms in under 4 minutes. Actually, that was a really quick response. And yep, it's a throw in for Middlesbrough now. Now it's going to be interesting to see how Middlesbrough can react. Can they shut up shop and just potentially go for another moment? Because what they scored with pretty much their only shot on goal. So Middlesbrough have got some really good attacking play within them, although that's a really good bit of defending from Ipswich there. They're now back on the ball. Can they muster an attack? Here's Matusiwa. He's got to be very careful here. Still want to find out who assisted that Middlesbrough goal. It was brilliant quality. Interesting ball there from Nunes, but it works. Leif Davis. Oh, and it's headed clear by Luke Ayling. Don't know what's happened there. I don't think they've given a corner. Have they given a foul? Has the ball already gone out of play? Ah, that's quite poor from Leif Davis there. Ah, that's disappointing. Yeah. Oh, hang on. This could be a chance for Ipswich to make it 2-1 here. Villagine. Oh, they wasted the opportunity there. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. Oh, very risky play from Middlesbrough at the back. Now they're trying to counter. Can they make that count? No, ball goes out of play. Goodness me. Middlesbrough really play with, yeah, with a lot of adrenaline. It's Melenda again, where he puts his teammate under so much unnecessary pressure there, and because of that, it nearly falls for them there. Now here's another chance for Ipswich to attack. Here's Aidan Morris, who I think actually played that incredible pass that led to the Middlesbrough goal there. Just like it's another corner kick to Ipswich. They feel like now that they are trying to bring more attacks to now really start putting the pressure on this Middlesbrough side. Just like Morris is complaining to the referee about something, probably for the, I would say persistent fouling, probably from the persistent challenges he's been getting, but it's a fierce game, and the Ipswich just certainly felt the aggression as well. So it's got to be a two-way street. It really does have to be. Right, corner's going to come in. Booted away though. That's good defending. Atusira. Looping across the left, but again defended well. Ipswich win it back from Jack Taylor. Ooh. Free kick awarded to Ipswich. Oh, the Middlesbrough away fans are not happy with Jared Gillet at all at the moment. I mean, it is very rash. I've got to be honest, it is very rash. From, I think it's Alan Brown that does that. Yeah, it's very rash. But understandably, James Villaging getting that sort of space, you have to come in really quickly. So, yeah, I feel for Brown a little bit, but yeah, the Middlesbrough fans are certainly very frustrated with Jared Gillet at this moment of time. Free kick being awarded for Ipswich though. Leif Davis, probably 30 yards out, the left-hand side. Looping ball. Header! Oh! I think that's going to be a goal kick. Ipswich won a corner. I don't think it was a corner personally. Yeah, no offside. Darragh O'Shea with the header. And does the ball go out of play? He hits it from his shoulder. Does the ball go out? Oh, I think it is a corner, you know. It is a corner. Bryn does get a touch on the ball just before the ball goes out of play. I thought the ball was already out of play, but no. It should have been a corner Ipswich. But either way, that will only become a deceiving decision if Middlesbrough get anything. But it looks like it's Ipswich again on the attack now. They have been winning the ball quite well, Ipswich, actually, in the middle of the park. So I think in that point of view, they've done quite well. Jaden Philogene, interesting looped ball, but well defended. Philogene once again on the attack. Very confident play at the moment in back line for Ipswich now. Right, O'Shea to Donnell Furlong to Nunes. He's in a bit of traffic at the moment. So they're naturally just passing it back a little bit. Oh, bit of a heavy touch from Jack Clark there. He's going to be very careful with that. But he's recovered. Jacob Greaves now with a marauding run. Hello, where have you come from? Here's Leif Davis. Cross comes back to him. Philogene. Ball comes in, and it's poor cross caught by Bryn. 8 minutes to half time. Personally, from what I've seen, it's a finely poised game. Middlesbrough have had moments, but nowhere near. Oh, hang on. This could be a chance for Ipswich again. Philogene! Oh, what a save by Bryn. That is an unbelievable save. Middlesbrough frustrated that they weren't getting a free kick. I can understand, but it would have been very soft. Yeah, Matusiwa. But he does the pass as on. That's a wicked shot from Philogene. Probably a bit too central. If it was to the corner, I think that would have been a goal. But it's a brilliant reflex save from Bryn. That's a crucial save. If Middlesbrough went down 2-1 at this stage of the game, I would probably have feared for their outcome for the rest of the game. But it's another corner for Ipswich. Now I'm going to question, are Ipswich going to rue those missed chances later on? Corner's delivered. And it's poor. It goes straight to the goalkeeper. I tell you what, there's certainly a bit of tetchiness in this game. Being so, yeah, Miss certainly a bit frustrated with the referee at the moment. I mean, a lot of sides are going to feel like that if they feel like that they are sort of, losing those 50-50 duels to think, oh, come on, you've got to make it fair for me. But yes, it's a hard one. No subs being made, of course, at this moment, but I have a feeling we're going to see loads of changes come in the second half. I think they've made, both teams ought to. They really do. So it is a throw-in to Ipswich. Alan Brown conceding the throw-in there. It's just been a bit frustrated with Alan Brown at the moment, staying off the pitch. Right, here we go. Play's now resumed. And some real edginess in both ends at the moment, which to be expected is a huge game for their respective clubs. Oh, that's a good bit of recovery play from Middlesbrough. Can they get anything from that? No, it's well worked. Ipswich recover well. Walton, he's always very comfortable on his feet. He's never afraid to take players on. It's always a very confident one on their feet. Jacob Greaves boots it clear. Philogene loses the ball. A good attack potentially forming here for Middlesbrough, although McAteer does well to initially prevent it, although Middlesbrough still wins something here. That's a good bit of play here. Cross, shot, saved by Walton. Middlesbrough just look really good going forward. Conway, and that is a wicked ball being delivered again. I think it's Strelec again with the shot. Strelec's seemingly finding themselves in the right place at the right time. I think it's Gilbert actually that does the cross initially. I haven't seen too much of, but just seen from there, when he's got this time and space, he can be a bit of a threat for Middlesbrough. Dara O'Shea on the ball now. Furlong, he's got some options there. Yep, he's going to give it to Nunes. Nunes has been heavily involved in this game. I've been quite impressed with him. Matusiwa's been brought down, although referee plays on. Middlesbrough now attack in swarms. They've now made it to the penalty box. That's a brilliant tackle by O'Shea. And good bit of defending by Leif Davis. Wow. Good bit of cover from Leif Davis from that point around. I mean, Aidan Morris on Matusiwa, that has been a really intense battle. Most of the time, Aidan Morris has been in the wrong end of the fouls. This time around, the referee has allowed to play on with him conceding some sort of contact on Matusiwa this time. And Middlesbrough nearly take advantage of that as well. I think they've got to watch Matusiwa and Aidan Morris there. I think a lot of the time they are wrestling each other at the moment. So, yeah, that's quite sneaky for Morris there. Tries to restrain Matusiwa from trying to track back. So, I think the referee may have to watch Matusiwa and Morris there. There's certainly a bit of toing and going from those two. Middlesbrough now at the corner. They've not had many corners, Middlesbrough, but this is one of their first. Walton doesn't really get a lot on that. Gilbert. Okay, now Matt Target, who can whip in a really good cross. Furlong. Oh, Furlong does very well there, actually. And I think... Do you want to throw in? I think he's want to throw in. Has he got a little knock on his eye? I think he must have been, like, got an elbow in his eye. I think he's got a bit of a black eye at the moment, done at Furlong. Yes, they have given the throw-in to Ipswich. Tell you what, we've just spoken about that. You know, the race of the top two in the Championship. The relegation for League One looks very intense. We've not even spoken about the relegation battle for League Two, which is looking like an all-time classic, where you've got 4 teams who could go down. I think 24th and 20th are separated by only 1 point now, after Harrogate winning against Colchester yesterday. Tell you what, Aidan Morris has been one of Middlesbrough's better players in this game. He has been really impressive shielding the ball and actually just having some sort of composure. I mean, just that pass there, unbelievable. And of course, he was involved with the first-time pass that led to Middlesbrough's goal. So, yeah, Aidan Morris has stuck out to me in a positive way for Middlesbrough in this game so far. Here's Luke Ayling again. Middlesbrough's kind of running out of ideas a little bit. It's just trying to be patient. You know, I think at the moment is that they just don't want to concede too many attacks. Ipswich win yet another free kick. Yeah, this has been awarded with quite a few free kicks. Melanda conceding the foul. We've made it to the 45th minute now. We've got 1 minute of added time. I'm a little bit shocked at that. You know, with 2 goals, maybe at least 2 minutes should be given. But, yeah, only 1 minute being given there. I think it's Middlesbrough who are now going to have possession of the ball in the final minute of this half. Can they do anything with it? There's 1 back, and Ipswich win the throw. And they do something Ipswich in the last 20 seconds of this half? Possibly not. Unless they do something spectacular here. Leave Davis to the throw. Finds a Middlesbrough player, so that's not going to help that case. Furlong, and just heads it straight to Walton. Good bit of defending. And I think that's going to be it for this half. I'm just waiting for Jared Gillet to blow his whistle. And that's it. Yep, half time. Wow. Okay, so what a 5 minutes we had from the 25th to the 30th minute. It is Middlesbrough who took the lead initially from Strelec getting the goal. A brilliant pass by Aidan Morris, which created that goal. But then Ipswich hit back very quickly on. Nunez, again, with a terrific pass. Azon, and then McAteer, who has been scoring some pretty crucial goals actually recently, has now got the equaliser from Ipswich. It is currently 1-1 at half time. What do you guys make of that? To me, I think it is slightly fair at the moment. I say Ipswich have probably been the slight favourites. But I think with the way that both have played, which I have seen what both are trying to do, I think a draw seems fair at the moment. I just don't think either side have done enough to warrant, you know, them winning the game at this moment. But I would say Ipswich have had the better chances. Strelec has been... Bryn has been a bit more busy of the 2 goalkeepers. But even with that, it is still only a draw at this moment in time. Doesn't do Ipswich massive favours. They definitely would prefer to win this game to increase the space between them and Southampton. They'd want to ensure that they maintain a 3-point gap from Southampton before they play Southampton. That's really what I think they've got to be aiming for. They've got to be aiming to be 3 points clear Ipswich of Southampton by the time they play against them in St Mary's. Because then at least, even if they do lose to Southampton, which could be a very good possibility, depending on goal difference, they still could be ahead of Southampton come to the final game of the season. So, welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's really, really good to see all of you turn up to the stream. What have you guys made of that half? I will go through stats very, very shortly. I'll give you guys an opportunity to talk amongst yourselves as well. Let's have a quick look at player performances at the moment. Said Aidan Morris deserved a shout out, and look at that. You know, he had a big part of it. And Alan Brown actually was the one who assisted that cross as well. So, yeah, I'd say those three have been the shining lights for Middlesbrough. I've been a little bit shaky of Melanda at the back, to be honest. Bryn pulled off a pretty good save against Jaden Villagine. I think for the fact he's only got 6.6 is a little bit harsh. McAteer, 7.5, not surprised with the goal. Azon, I'd say, yeah, got the assist, but apart from that, hasn't been great. Nunez, I think, is quite harsh. I think he's done okay. Personally, I mean, all of the back line really, I think probably should be a little bit less than that, to be fair. And Walton hasn't really done a great deal, so I can't really get a distinguished rating for him. Substitutions-wise, trying to think what might be the best way for both of these sides. I think for me, Hurst, Mehmeti, Clark, and Dan Neil have to come on, and I wouldn't be surprised defensively they go either for Ben Johnson or Kipre later on. But I think Mehmeti, Hurst, and Clark are a must. Dan Neil they might bring on, or Ageli. I think one of Dan Neil and Ageli probably will go on, but I think Hurst, Mehmeti, and Clark are a must. They have to go on. And then one of Ben Johnson and Kipre will go later on. But then it's really going to be down to the stage of the game. If Ipswich are winning, then they probably might bring an extra defender on to try and be defensively solid. Middlesbrough's point of view, for creativity, I probably would bring Sarmiento on. Whitaker, I wouldn't be surprised if he's introduced soon. Sene, I think, can be introduced pretty soon as well. And then for a little bit of experience later on, they probably could go for someone like Edmondson as well. So honestly, for me, for Middlesbrough, I think for a good balance, Whitaker, Sarmiento, Edmondson, and Sene, I think will be the ones that I would go for in their position. So both sides have got some really good options off the bench if they needed to. I honestly might very quickly just pause the stream because I'm getting messages that I might need to quickly respond to. So with it being 1-1 at the moment, I need to sort loads of stuff out actually. Loads of fun stuff that I've got to do for today. Right, but lots of big football. We're covering the first huge game today with Ipswich against Middlesbrough. But then, of course, you know, on the matter of the Premier League as well, you know, we've got Merseyside derby, followed by, of course, followed by the top of the table clash in the Premier League. So, huge games all round. That Aidan Morris pass is just insane. It really is. But very disappointing how much space he was given there. Trying to think defensively what they could have done there. I mean, that first time pass is unbelievable, and Leif Davis is just too late to react to Alan Brown's marauding run. And Strelec, I'd say defensively, it's not Furlong's shiniest moment there. And then, you know, I've got to give praise to the response. You know, within less than 5 minutes later, they do manage to get a goal back. Let's see this again. Starts defensively, it's Furlong actually, and then it's an intelligent play because McAteer could have got the ball first time. Oh yeah, it's pretty poor because you've got Target and Ailing sort of crossing each other there where they really should be opposite ends of the field. So they're kind of both in each other's way, and that opens the space up. Yeah, defensively, it's not the strongest from Target and Ailing there. Ailing's too late to get a challenge on from McAteer's shot, and yeah, it's a good goal. But good attack, actually. Furlong does the initial pass. McAteer could have actually intercepted it, but he actually dummies it, gives it to Azon, and Azon does really well to do the flick, and yeah, goal. Simple as that. Right, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to be gone for like, I think 1 or 2 minutes, and then I'll be right back to then talk through the second half, and hopefully we're going to get a really, really exciting couple of minutes for this game as well. But anyone who is still there in the chat, feel free to chat. And actually, one thing I might say before I do have a break, let me know of what you think is going to happen in terms of the second half. Obviously, it's a must-win game for both of these sides. Who do you think is going to potentially get the next goal? What do you think the outcome's going to be? And ultimately, feel free to also predict what you think is going to happen in the Premier League games happening later today as well. So I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. I'll leave you to talk amongst yourselves with those questions. Okay, we're back. Yeah, it is literally as quick as that. So, Middlesbrough would love to avoid the playoffs 4 times they progressed to the playoffs and gone to the final twice, won it in the late 87-88 season. Yeah, Middlesbrough's record in the playoffs hasn't been amazing in recent history. Latest one I remember, of course, was under Michael Carrick, actually. Against Coventry, they lost. Then in the playoff final, they also lost against Norwich as well. I mean, that's 10 years ago now, which is insane. It's good to see Middlesbrough back in that position, but I really would love to see them back in the Prem. I'm sort of disappointed we can't have more than 3 sides going back up. I mean, I won't be too disappointed if Southampton don't go back up, but the way that they're playing, I feel like they will go up. So I could arguably say the same for Ipswich as well, but Ipswich are a side that just don't have a lot of Premier League pedigree, so I would love to see them back there again just to mix things up and to see if they can really start to make things right. Yeah, I would definitely love to see Middlesbrough or Millwall go up as well. Those are the 2 sides which I would be rooting for if they do end up in the playoffs. Hull would be interesting to see again. They've not been in the Premier League for a while, in the last 10 years or so. But yeah, personally for me, I'd be rooting for Millwall and Middlesbrough, I think, personally. I'd love to see one of them back in the Premier League. Middlesbrough have got a good long-running history in the Prem, and Millwall have not been in the Prem. And I'd love to see, you know, potentially a West Ham versus Millwall sort of game in the Premier League. It would be absolutely insane. The coverage that I think they could get is quite exciting, I think. Playoffs obviously is not too confirmed yet. You've got 3 teams Going for one position in Hull, Wrexham and Derby too. I think there's too big of a space for Derby. But, you know, having said that, there's tough games, actually. There are some really, really tough games, actually, for all three of these sides, actually, come near the end of the season. I know I said in my video that Wrexham have got to play Oxford soon. And Oxford, you know, at the moment are sort of in a bit of trouble there. In fact, we could have been in a really dangerous situation, actually, where come midweek, we've got lots of permutations that could start getting confirmed. We could have the entire bottom three confirmed after the midweek's set of games, actually. So we can have that being settled. I don't know if we're going to get top two settled. I think because everyone is so close and compact, I think this will go to the final day of the championship season, just making it lovely and relaxing for anyone rooting for anyone. Right, Merseyside Derby's kicking off at 2 o'clock. I wouldn't be surprised that they get like that sort of slot, but yeah, that it is an actual 2 p.m. Kickoff because I mean the big time is obviously Man City Arsenal, the 4:30 kickoff. Been challengers 5 times. I mean, yeah, they've been there a good handful of times, Middlesbrough, haven't they? With this is such an intense game. A draw really wouldn't do any team any favours, really. Middlesbrough will have a 3-point gap to try and get back into the top 2 with Southampton looking like they're not going to lose a game between now to the end of the season, so that pretty much rules them out. And Ipswich, there'll be only goal difference clear of in Millwall, but only 1 point clear of Southampton. And there's a very good chance that Southampton are going to have better form than Ipswich come from now to the end of the season. I think for me, Ipswich need to win. I mean, the only emphasis of Ipswich needing to win, I think, is more or less just down to the fact that Southampton are playing really well with their form and they have to play them. That's really what it is for me. If Southampton weren't doing so well with their form, I think this game to me would be a must not lose. But I think the way that Southampton are playing at the moment, I think this game becomes a must win. Their unbelievable form is putting a lot of the sides up there under tremendous amounts of pressure. That's how I am seeing this. So, if you were wondering with League One, Peterborough versus Burton has just kicked off. A very big game in terms of the bottom of League One. I will keep a sharp eye to see how that game goes on. But we have the small matter of this game here. This is just an unbelievable game. This really is. It could be, right. So I'm just reminding myself. So Derby are actually 3 points behind Hull with a better goal difference than Hull as well. I'll say, if I was a Hull City fan, I'd be a little bit nervous of my place in the playoffs. Right, we are just about to start the second half. It will be Ipswich who will be kicking off the second half. Your predictions, I mean, my current predictions 1-1 is being confirmed as it stands. Oh God, I'm almost glad I'm not hearing the commentating. Don Goodman is certainly someone that doesn't speak nicely of Ipswich when he does. Right, and it's kicked off by Nunes. Second half has started. Oh, didn't start the time on time. There we go. So let's see, how will this game conclude? No substitutions from the start of the second half, but I already gave you my suggestions, or I say suggestions, what I probably would do to see both sides figure each side out. It is Ipswich with a spell of possession at the moment. Leif Davis does well to win the ball here. This could be an attack for Ipswich there. Villaging in a good position in the left-hand side. Oh, he completely loses it. Yeah, that's a shame for Villaging. He's been so on it, but this is the one time where he just loses composure, and Callum Britton actually does well enough to put him off with defending there from the former Blackburn player. throw in. It's well run actually by Matsushira, but it's given away again. It's a bit back and forth at the moment. Middlesbrough now trying to get an attack, but Leif Davis plays it completely safe back to the feet of Christian Walton. Goal kick. Right. Again, it's given away. Right, Gilbert now on the attack for Middlesbrough. This is going to be potentially an opportunity for Middlesbrough to get something. Britton. Aidan Morris, but good pressure from Nunes to force the ball back. Dale Fry to Luke Ayling. Luke Ayling with a bit of space at the moment. Where's this space come? Where has this space come from? Matt Target to Luke Ayling now. Dale Fry. Yeah, Middlesbrough having more of the ball in the second half at the moment. Britton to Brown. Oh, that's good defending. Oh, but the cross has gone in. Oh, a last-ditch header away from Darnell Furlong. Middlesbrough have come back in the second half with a bit of intent here. Yes, good from Alan Brown. Tackle is initially won well by Greaves, but then it's Callum Britton who then supports Alan Brown and manages to win the ball back with a beautiful cross, actually. And Darnell Furlong just dives like a salmon and gets his body in the way, forcing a corner for Middlesbrough already within the first 2 3/4 minutes of the second half. Headed away by Furlong. It's not the best of corners. Didn't beat the first man, although you could have another try. That's a much better delivery. Headed away by Greaves. It's still in the penalty box though. Middlesbrough won handball. That's not going to be given for handball. Right. Ipswich need to deal with this. Middlesbrough having a bit of pressure at the moment. Here's Melenda. Aidan Morris. Target. Melenda again. Oh, that's good defending. There we go. They've done it pretty well there to recover that. Oh, they've got to be quite careful. Yep, okay. One thing I have noticed is that Ipswich look a lot more confident playing out the back than what Middlesbrough do. Right, Leif Davis to Jaden Philogene. Morris goes in for the tackle and misses. Philogene finds Leif Davis in a lot of space here, but he takes a lot of time here. Cross comes in and it's headed away. Jacob Greaves, I think that is. Oh, brilliant. Bit of physical defending there. And free kicks awarded to Ipswich. Callum Britton conceding the foul this time. Right. Free kick, as I said, awarded to Ipswich. Leif Davis. It's going to be a potential set piece opportunity to loop inviting cross into the box. Would just be interested to see if anyone can get their heads on it. Davis now. Header. Oh, cleared off the line. Shot. Cleared off the line again. Oh my gosh, I was so close for Ipswich to get something back. Nunes slips over. Aidan Morris manages to clear things up. And I think a foul's been given in favour of Middlesbrough. Right. What would have been questions of offside. Fry blocks it. Wait, so let's see what happens here. No, it's Azon and Fry clears it. I think it's Fry that does 2 clearances. Wow, good positioning from Del Fry to be in the right place at the right time. Oh, that's a brilliant ball to find Gilbert in a lot of space for Middlesbrough here. Gosh, this game's looking very open in this half. Could go to anyone. Shot maybe for Conway. Oh, who's defending Strelak here? That's really poor. Oh my gosh, that was really close. Really close again. Ipswich will be wondering how on earth did they let that opportunity happen. Good, unbelievable individual quality there. Is it Brown? Oh, and it's Gilbert. Oh, and then a clearance off the line from Matsushira, I think it was. Yes, Alan Brown. I mean, the lack of awareness of Alan Brown is really scary for an Ipswich defending point of view. That's really poor. And here come Middlesbrough again. Right, and it looks like that they recover it Ipswich this time. Saying the momentum. All right, here's the first yellow card of the game to Matt Target. He's not happy with it, but I had the feeling Jared Gillett was going to eventually. Yeah, you know, it is a foul on Taylor there. Doesn't get the ball. Definitely not a red. Yellow, probably. Yeah. So it's his 5th yellow card this season for Matt Target. Free kick awarded to Ipswich, of course. Nunes. Tell you what, Middlesbrough worked really hard already in this second half. So my only concern with that is, are they going to tire as the game goes on? That's my only little thing with that. Goal kick, well, it's a clearance from Christian Walton. And throw-in is awarded to Ipswich. Probably a bit fortunate circumstances for it to be awarded. Still do. 52 minutes on the clock now, 7 minutes in this second half. 1 goal each, but both sides have come close to scoring, both teams making goal line clearances. So only that to report on in the second half. Right, here comes Ipswich now with the attack. Jacob Greaves, who's made a couple of these really devastating runs. Jaden Philogene. Philogene has become a bit less effective in these 7 minutes. I having a wonder this might be a tactical thing from Hellberg to kind of double up on his position play. So, I mean, if so, it's good management. It's good management for Kimber Hellberg if he has prioritised on that. That will be a throw-in for Ipswich. McAteer, Leif Davis to Jaden Philogene, Matthew Siwa. I'm in a little trouble, but he does manage to find a pass to Furlong. Dara O'Shea now, who's a bit up advanced, and he loses it very cheaply there. He's got to be very careful. Jacob Greaves, very experienced defender. Did I watch Chelsea Man United? I don't have TNT, so I didn't watch it, but I heard enough. It was just a very typical Chelsea Liam Rosenior performance. Not shocked. I wanted to see it live because I wanted to see how the protest went at Stamford Bridge. Oh, that's some good play from Ipswich there on the left-hand side. Philogene now. Yvonne Azon up against Luke Ayling. He does well there. Matisiwa. Furlong manages to get the ball on his feet and recover it somewhat. Oh, there's a real intensity in Middlesbrough's press at the moment, and that's making it very difficult for Ipswich to find the space. Philogene. Leif Davis. Cross. Headed away. Good defending there for Middlesbrough. It's come to nothing. Thought something might have flown in terms of an opportunity, but no, nothing in the end. I would argue Middlesbrough will probably, some would argue that they will take a point away from home against Ipswich, but I think with the position they're in the table, they've got to go for the win. And certainly with their intensity of stopping Ipswich, they've shown good focus and intensity. All referees played on here. This could be costly for Ipswich. Oh, this is a good amount of opportunities for Middlesbrough. Good save by Christian Walton. What a save. And Ipswich do then boot the ball away. I mean, that's what Ipswich is going to be very careful with. They can't always assume that they're going to get those 50-50s. Well, the same with Middlesbrough. I think it's the same for both of these sides. I think you've got to be very careful that you're not always going to get your way in a 50-50 challenge. And whether it's fair or not, you've got to ensure that you've got enough numbers and you don't fall susceptible to the counter-attack. That was definitely the closest Middlesbrough have gone. I'd say at this moment, it is Middlesbrough who are the most likely team to score. And Philogene conceding a very cheap foul there. Yeah. It's a 50-50 between Conway and Furlong. I think it's, yes, Strelec with the shot. And it's a good strike there. Good strike there. But decent save by Walton. And they've got to be very careful here. Well, yeah, as I reiterate, both sides need to assume that if they're not going to get their way in the 50-50 and get a foul, they have to ensure that they still free up those spaces to stop those attacks. Well, I'm telling you now, Middlesbrough, I've got to say, I think I've been the better team. They have been the better team in the second half so far. They're the most likely side getting a goal. Aidan Morris again on the ball. I've been very impressed with him, I've got to say. Luke Ayling. Wicked cross headed away by Jacob Greaves. Just outside the penalty box. Matthew Seawer gets ahead of Gilbert. Good bit of defending there. Now the counter is on for it. So it's just a 3-on-2. They could take advantage of this. Oh, wrong decision there. Although the ball has won back into their favour. But now they've taken too long. Enough Middlesbrough players are now back in the box. Oh, that was a big opportunity. Wrong decision. I would have gone left rather than right there. Philogene. Davis, who I think is onside. Yeah, he is. Greaves. Davis again. Cross. Palmed away by Bryn. It's headed clear. Headed by O'Shea. Lots of pinballs at the moment. Taylor to Davis to Greaves. Oof. So much going on. It really is. Right, okay. Greaves again. He's gone. Morris has played so well, I've got to say. I can't stop saying it. He's done... His work rate has been sensational. Ball's gone out of play, and it will be a Middlesbrough throw. I mean, this is it. So even as on, I think if he just... Oh, and look at the frustration for Philogene there. He wanted him to release him there. The easier pass was to the right, but because... See, the thing is, I would have definitely backed Philogene in that position to take it on his own and score. The easier pass was to go right, but the awkwardness of the angle would have made it difficult to get a good shot off. And yeah, no, it's not the best of decisions by Yvonne Azon there, unfortunately. We're nearly 60 minutes in and still no subs from either one of the sides. But I think Middlesbrough are going to make the first one. I did call that Sarmiento could be involved again against his former club. Eve, I think, is going to be the first Middlesbrough player going on. And could he haunt his former side? Quite possibly, with the way that Middlesbrough are playing at the moment. McAteer against Matt Target. Matt Target's done really well to get good defending there. Yes, Middlesbrough who are going to make the first substitution right at the 60-minute mark. Still no subs from Kieran McKenna, which is, I say, a bit surprising. It is Gilbert who's going off. I am not shocked at that, actually. Sarmiento on in his place. Oh, I'm quite nervous now. I'm quite nervous now with that. We know exactly what you can do. He's, of course, getting a couple of claps from the Ipswich fans. He got a very big goal for Ipswich against Southampton 2 years ago. That really helped them secure their top 2 place in the Premier League. That's a brilliant save from Bryn. Right, it is Ayling. That's a very loose ball there. Nunes. Then Azon goes high. Personally, for me, I think it goes too high. But it does go with a touch of Brent, so it's a corner to Ipswich. Wow, that's a good save. That's a really good save. Oh my gosh, half an hour left. Both sides, I don't think, will be satisfied with this result. Next goal here, if we're going to get one, is going to be very crucial in this game. Ipswich currently second, but they're only 1 point clear of Southampton, who look like they're not going to lose a game from now to the end of the season. Shot. Oh, it's trickled through, but it's just wide off the post. Jack Taylor now with the shot. Yeah, it's sort of half cleared. Oh, and I think it's McAteer who actually does get a touch on that. Yeah, McAteer just tries to steer on target. It is just wide. Oh, that's so close. McAteer nearly the hero once again. It's me. I don't know how this game will go. I really don't. I think Middlesbrough have played better in this second half, but Ipswich have shown there that they just need one sort of lackadaisical moment at the back for Middlesbrough, then they can have an opportunity. Free kick is awarded to Middlesbrough. That is one thing I would say could cost Middlesbrough long term. They do look a little bit shaky at times defensively when it comes around to playing at the back. But if they can nail that, they've got basically good areas in every other area of the pitch. They've got lots of potential. Morris with the free kick to Ailing to Malanga. Oh, it's not the best of touches there from Nunes, but he does recover it. Matthew Siwa. Greaves to Leif Davis. Oh, given away very cheaply there. Callum Britton now, who tries to find Alan Brown, who's done well. Cross comes in. Britton with the shot. Surely that's in. It is in. And it's a goal for Middlesbrough once again. They have got the second goal, for their side. It is the third goal of this game. Fair play to them. They've done brilliantly in this second half. They've been the better side in the second half. I can't say that they don't deserve this. They do. Tommy Conway with the goal. And let's see how this goes round. I mean, it is a brilliant marauding run. It's initially given away by Leif Davis. Callum Britton with the attack. Alan Brown head-to-head with Greaves does well. And defensively, just not strong enough. Deal with Britton again. A big contribution to that goal was Callum Britton winning the ball back, setting off Alan Brown, winning the ball back again, and then forcing the save from the goalkeeper, and it is Tommy Conway who has an empty net. 2-1 Middlesbrough. I've got to say it's deserved because Middlesbrough have been the better side in the second half. Oh dear. Well, Philogene looks like he's gone off. And dear me. It's a double sub, so Nunes and Philogene are off, and Clark and Mehmeti are on. I argue that maybe those subs should have been done earlier. And I've got to say, I mentioned it, Philogene looked really poor in the second half, but I think that was just a tactical decision from Middlesbrough and Helberg. I think they have, deliberately tried to double up on them to make it difficult. Oh, this is poor again. Jack Clark just coming on, just doing that. But it is given away, and it's a throw for Ipswich. Right, they need to try and keep a calm head now. They've really got to try and win this back. Because right now, I think it's playoffs for Ipswich. I really do. If it stays like this. Throw-in comes in. Well defended by Dale Fry again. He's had a brilliant game. Callum Britton. And throw-in Middlesbrough. Yeah, well, moment of truth to see if Ipswich really want this. What a win this will be for Middlesbrough, by the way, if they do get this win. It means that they are back to only 1 point behind top two. I mean, that's just insane, isn't it? We thought that it was panic stations and it was a disaster, but this is it. And I think a lot of people are thinking that actually, predictions-wise and with how the game goes, I think Middlesbrough prefer to play against teams like Ipswich, who will actually try to play football. it is really against the sides that they try and break down in a low block, which Middlesbrough struggled with. Agatia against Conway, loses that battle there. Now, as we know, when Middlesbrough did score first, Ipswich got almost an instantaneous response. This is now going to be the test for Middlesbrough to see if they can hold on to this lead and prevent that from happening. On ball coming in, and it's given away. Dear. Well, I could be upset, I could be all sorts, but I have to say, it feels, this scoreline feels fair at the moment, just with how they've performed. Middlesbrough have played so well today. Ooh! What a chance! Is that Sarmiento? That is Sarmiento. I tell you what, the last couple of minutes or so, Ipswich have been all over the place. They've now got to try and regain some form of composure. Oh, that's a good strike for Sarmiento, you know. Good save from Walton. That goes in and it's game over. Walton is furious with his squad at the moment. McAteer's down. That's not a good sign. And he wouldn't be faking an injury because right now he's on the losing side. 3-2 about that. If Tier can't continue on, it's a shame if he can't. I think it might be Egeli coming on for McAteer. I think that's what he's going to do. Yeah, so Egeli's going to be coming on for McAteer by the looks of things. Did make the suggestion that maybe he should be going on. Probably not for McAteer, but ultimately for the circumstances. If he is hurt, it might just be good just to get him off, at least try and give him a fighting chance to stay fit, but possibly against the Charlton game. Ipswich do not have a good record in the playoffs either as well, yeah. Last time, of course, they were in the playoffs, it was Norwich that they lost out to. I mean, Leif Davis will not want to see how he gave the ball away there. They'll look at it as a really good worked goal for Callum Britton and Alan Brown, and I get that. And I know Conway's the one who scored it, but Conway just simply had to do a tap on the ball. But he just needs to be in the right place at the right time. And oh, a chance again for Middlesbrough to end it. What a save once again from Walton. Here's another chance for Middlesbrough. Cross comes in, target. It is blocked. Chance again, Sarmiento blocked. Middlesbrough queuing up at the moment. Shot wide and corner for Middlesbrough. Incredible. Momentum has completely shifted in his half. I have to say, I've seen it. I've seen it coming. From the games I have seen Ipswich play, they played so much better in the first half than they have done in the second. And this is a really big sign of this happening once again, because it means second to fifth are only separated by 1 point. But for Ipswich fans, this is a painful day because Millwall and Southampton have all won their games, and Middlesbrough about to. Or close again for Middlesbrough to potentially end the game. McAteer against Brown, and it's cleared. Obviously, they're losing. But with the former Southampton, I say this game becomes a must-win because of the way that Southampton are playing. And Ipswich still have to play them. It really goes down to that. So, I do think it's at least playoffs for all of these sides. But that's that final promotion place, really could go either way. And I think at this moment, it's flailing. This could be back-to-back defeats for Ipswich. Right, here we go. There's the sub I've been waiting for. So, Egeli is on. And I think it is going to be McAteer going off. Yeah, McAteer is indeed going off. Honestly, I know you're in pain, but just try and get off the pitch quickly. Right, yeah, he is at least trying to jog off the pitch. He needs to go off really quickly here because there's under 20 minutes. And typically, from Ipswich's point of view, they would want to score 2 goals, but I don't see them doing it. So Egeli is on. He's had some pretty crucial goals quite recently, a bit similar to McAteer. Goal kick to Walton now, and Ipswich. Del Fry once again winning the ball. He's had a great game at the defensively, Del Fry. He's been, I think, the one shining light at the back line for Middlesbrough. I think the others have had a bit of some questionable things. Sarmiento could end it here for Middlesbrough here. Malanga. Just suddenly, just going forward, they've got so much more about the Middlesbrough, and Ipswich are struggling to deal with it. Clark, right, he's dealt with it. Right, can Ipswich counter? No, it's a poor ball from Matusira, but very well intercepted by Aidan Morris. Here comes Alan Brown again, who has not stopped running. He has had a brilliant game. Alan Brown. Throw-in's been awarded to Ipswich. Middlesbrough fans not happy with that, but I'd say they'll calm down a little bit. You know, they're winning. Helberg's not happy with the decision as well, but he's probably thinking that this Ipswich side, you know, need all the help they can get. But, I mean, it's unbelievable. They're just showing me the stats now. 10 shots to Middlesbrough to Ipswich is 5. 6 shots on target. 6 of them. And Ipswich have only had 1 shot on target, which was that goal line clearance. As I say, it's deserved. It's deserved for Middlesbrough to be winning this game. So I can't be disappointed. I could be disappointed in the outcome, but I can't be disappointed in the way that this game has gone. Cross comes in and, yeah, it goes to nothing. It's a throw into Ipswich. They need to seriously wake up here. And I've got to say, the impact of the substitutions already feels so much greater for Middlesbrough than I have done for Ipswich. I've barely seen Mehmeti touch the ball. I've barely seen Jack Clark getting involved either. I'm not going to dig out Egeli yet because he's barely had time. It's been, I'd arguably say, one-way traffic for most of this half in favour of Middlesbrough. Communication's just, you know, brilliant for them as well. Right, that came to nothing there. Time for Aces just to actually get a calm head and to see if they can just try and win something again. Right, long ball going in, no one's there. Yeah, this is disappointing. Disappointing second half performance from Ipswich Town here. Certainly have not given me any sort of encouragement that they'll be going through the playoffs. They might have a good chance for the fact that they've got a big squad, but you can have a big squad, but then you've got to beat what you've got in front of you. Right, Jack Clark. Oh, it's going to be a good chance for Mehmeti. This is the first time I've seen him on the ball. Shot. Powerful, but it's straight. It is straight at Bryn and goes to nothing, unfortunately. Oh, that's a big amount of space. Oh, I think he should have passed to Azon there. I think Mehmeti is a bit greedy. Yeah, too greedy for Mehmeti. Should have passed to Azon. That, I think, is the problem. When you've got superstars, a lot of the time you just get individuals and you don't normally do the best for the team. And after that chance, of course, Middlesbrough are going to go down with cramps. That's to be expected. Tactically, but also physically as well. That's down. Is it Matt Target? I think it's Matt Target who's down. Well, Kieran McKenna has got to deliver. The money laid a glove on Middlesbrough in the second half. And the only thing I'm still thinking of now is that they could very well have to face each other in the playoffs, as it stands. In terms of the final couple of games that both these sides have got to play, Middlesbrough, I think, have Wrexham on the final day. Ipswich have Queen's Park Rangers on the final day. I don't know who Southampton have. I can't remember for the life of me who Millwall have either. God, this is really, really deflating. The only ones feeling deflating is going to be Ipswich fans, because they would feel with that game in hand that's now being eaten up with the fact that Southampton and Millwall and possibly Middlesbrough are going to win these games. Millwall have Oxford on the last day, right? Well, could be already down, so that could be an absolutely perfect game for Millwall. Absolutely perfect game. I knew they had to play Oxford at some point, but I didn't know if it was the last game of the season. Throw-in awarded to Ipswich. Right at the edge of the goal line, actually, so they could go for a long throw. And he's down a furlong with the throw. He's going to go for a long throw. It's not quite clear. Jack Clark. Good defending by Callum Britton. Defensively, I mean, I had my things to say about Ayling and Malanda, but the others, Del Fry and Callum Britton, have been sensational today. They really have. They've been the two standouts in the back. Midfield, I thought Aidan Morris has been brilliant. He probably will be up there for man of the match for me. And then wing play wise, I've been very impressed with Alan Brown. Strelec and Conway haven't been too amazing, but they have just been getting to the right place at the right time. Ipswich, for me, I think Philogene was good in the first half, but his threat was nullified in the second. Really, apart from that, I'm struggling. Thought Nunes had a couple of moments, but again, got absolutely nullified second half. It's me. Ipswich just don't look like they're going to get another goal anytime soon. Maybe that could be commentator's curse, but at the moment, it is very much Middlesbrough who just look the better side at the moment. I've barely seen anything from McGelly, but he's now on the ball. See what he can do. Can he at least offer something a little bit different? Offers a pretty good cross. Jack Clark, headed very well by Del Fry. What an unbelievable bit of defending again. As I said, Del Fry and Britton, they're the two defenders who have stood out for me today. Target's done okay, but I think in the opposite position, I think Callum Britton has really stood out. Yeah, no, good defending from Del Fry to get ahead of Ivanaz on that. And it's a corner, Ipswich. We're now 80th minute, where I think Ipswich need to score 2 goals. Oh, what a save! Oh my gosh, what a save! But there's a flag up for offside, I think. Or was he imposing the goalkeeper? Okay, so a foul was awarded because Furlong was in the way of the goalkeeper, but actually, despite his best efforts, Furlong, to put him off, Britton still made the save. It's quite embarrassing in that point of view. Right, double substitution for Ipswich now. Hurst is finally coming onto the pitch, and Dan Neil is finally going onto the pitch as well. I'm surprised Hurst wasn't introduced sooner. Matisiwa is coming off for Dan Neil, and Azon is going off for George Hurst. For Middlesbrough, Silvera is about to go onto the pitch. He was actually one I didn't recommend in my substitutions, but, you know, let's see what he can do. Silvera is on. He's replacing... I couldn't quite see who that was. Or was it Strelec? Silvera on for Strelec? Quite see. Yeah, so Hurst and Neil are on for Azon and Matisiwa for Ipswich. Show me no Middlesbrough one. I haven't shown it. Oh no, but now they are. So yeah, Sam Silvera's on for Strelec. Let's see what impact they can have with 10 minutes to go. Personally, I don't think they are going to have any impact because I've not seen enough. I know that save was made from the corner, but it wouldn't have been the goal anyway because Darnell Furlong tried to impede with the goalkeeper. And actually, despite that, he still made the save. Oh dear. I would like to say I don't believe in jinxes, but when I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna stream this game. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, if they don't win this game, I don't think I could watch an Ipswich game again. And at this moment, they're just not playing well. They're not playing well. This is another chance for Middlesbrough to kill the game off. Ball is still in play there. Middlesbrough, got to play to the whistle here. Headed away. Right, it's headed away. They cleared it. Sarmiento. Alan Britton. Sarmiento's had a decent impact going onto the pitch. Right, Luke Ayling. Aidan Morris, who's played a full 90, by the way. That's amazing for him. Well, 83 minutes that'll be before anyone gets pedantic. I think with the way that the attack's going, I think we could be streaming all day. I don't think Ipswich are going to score again. I think now will be a really good time to get and view, especially where Mehmeti's caught himself in an offside position. I've been quite let down by Mehmeti. I thought he'd be doing a lot better than this, but hasn't been anywhere near good enough going on. But yeah, with that out the way, here is the table as things stand. 5th to 2nd are separated by only 1 point. Millwall by have far the weakest goal difference out of those 4. Ipswich have a game in hand, but so will Southampton after game week 45, and that will be against this Ipswich Town side. Fixtures for these sides are as follows. Southampton have Bristol City. That's got to be a home win with Bristol City now having nothing to play for. Charlton face Ipswich. Charlton have already beaten Ipswich 3-0. In fact, this was only Ipswich's defeat at home. This could be the second defeat that Ipswich have at home. Had a really bad time of the season. Middlesbrough have Sheffield Wednesday. Come on. They should be getting 3 points in that game there. No disrespect. Shot is an easy save from Walton. Walton's furious with his team at the moment. Millwall probably have an awkward game against Stoke, but Stoke have got a bit of an injury crisis, so I think, again, Millwall could get 3 points there. Then Leicester-Millwall. Leicester, by that point, might have already been relegated, so that could be a really good bit of timing for Millwall to play them there. Middlesbrough at home to Watford. Watford, nothing to play for. I think they could win that. Awkward game for Ipswich to play West Brom, who may not be safe yet because of the points deduction. Southampton not there because they've already played their game against Blackburn. So then it's down to that Southampton-Ipswich game, which I really am unsure if they can get a result in. Well, this could be a chance for Ipswich, actually. Hang on a minute. Egeli. Oh. Hurst wants a penalty. And has he been given... Oh my gosh, wait, a penalty's been given. And a yellow card. It is an actual penalty to Ipswich. I've got to say, I need to see it again. I did feel he was being a bit manhandled, but I thought Hurst was being a bit performative with it. Let's see. Helberg is not happy, and I don't blame him. Oh my gosh. Let's see this again. So, no, Mehmeti with the cross. Oh, that... It's 2 hands on Hurst, but I do think it's quite soft, honestly. Melander is the one who concedes the penalty. Oh my gosh. If it ends as a draw, it's not the worst case scenario, but it's still not the best case scenario for Ipswich's point of view. It means they still cling on to second place. this goal goes in, this could end Middlesbrough's hopes of getting into the top two. It really does. Jack Clark with the pressure penalty. Scores! 2-2. Unreal. 86, now 87 minutes on the clock. I would be bringing the ball to the centre spot as quickly as possible now. And I think he does do that. I'm just thinking, would have Hurst got... The thing I'm finding a bit conflicting with this, I'm a bit uncertain if Hurst would have got to the ball if it wasn't for Malanda. I think he still would have missed it. If I saw Malanda was obstructing Hurst and he would have clearly got the ball, I could understand the decision, as soft as it is. But the reason why I'm a little bit iffy on that is because I'm not so sure Hurst would have got connection onto that after that Mehmeti cross. But you take it for Ipswich. It's now restores them going back into the top two. Now, this could be a chance for Ipswich again to break. Okay, Jack Clark. He goes centrally here. I probably wouldn't have done that. Hurst tries to go on his own here. He doesn't find anyone in the box. That's not really the best decision from him. Suddenly, the momentum is now all with Ipswich. Taylor now. Davis. Oh my gosh, I'm hooked on this now. Dan Neil, Egeli with the cross. Oh, that's a poor delivery from Egeli. Goal kick. God, it's just real mental torture now. Because Middlesbrough probably would want to try and be going for the win. But then they know a defeat. It's absolutely game over. Morgan Whittaker is finally getting onto the pitch. I mean, that is very late to introduce Morgan Whittaker, I've got to say. But it's Tommy Conway going off. Goal scorer, of course. On comes Morgan Whittaker. West Ham fans probably want West Brom to be safe before the final day so they can... Yeah, I think they will get a really good chance of getting that first win at home with that. Yeah, they got one of... I said in my predictions that I thought Charlton could be a good opportunity for them to get a win, but yeah, it didn't quite go their way, but it ended up as a draw. I feel quite unlucky. Oh, okay, yeah, they are taking their time, Middlesbrough. I would feel a bit disappointed if they gave up now. But they are probably thinking now the momentum is now shifting towards Ipswich, and they now just got to try and stop any time they have on the ball. Right, Davis with a good run here. Sarmiento with the foul. But no foul according to the referee. That's interesting. 8 added time. 8 minutes. And that is more than enough time to get something now for either of these sides. So we were talking through the table. Obviously, all of ads now are irrelevant because now Ipswich are back second with this current scoreline. This sort of result at the moment will end Middlesbrough's chances for me, even though I think they've got 2 decent games coming up. But I've got to be quite careful there, Middlesbrough. Oh, yellow card being awarded there to Dan Neil. Ipswich fans are not happy with Dinsley, who was fouled. Yeah, they're not happy with Matt Target at all. But I think it is a foul. First yellow card for Dan Neil this season. Right, 1 minute of the 8 is gone. Ooh, goal in the League One game between Peterborough and Burton. It's Burton who've picked up the opening goal. Charlie Webster with the opening goals just before half-time. 44 minutes in on the clock for that game. Eddie Clear from Ipswich. They're in the centre of the pitch at the moment and not doing a good amount of work with the ball. Leif Davis. Back to Jacob Greaves. Oof, that's a bit dangerous. They really need to win Ipswich this. They really do. Oh, I mean, but I said again, both of them do. Right, Egeli. Oh, that nearly worked out perfectly. I think Mehmeti is now starting to get into the right positions there. It's very poor, well tackled by Aidan Morris. I think a yellow card. Well, it's been, yeah, I think Furlong's been booked here, actually. Back in possession for Middlesbrough. Yellow card for Dana Furlong this season. Can't say I'm shocked. Right. Jack Clark needs to press here. Doesn't quite win the ball. Britton. And Middlesbrough just clearing the ball if they can. Offside being given there. Yeah, it's just kind of trying to play with a bit of tempo here, but they're not quite finding the killer pass. So Middlesbrough have really set them up. It's going to be low to mid-80s for second place. Yeah, no, it will be. It certainly will be. Can't be disappointed if that's right. Callum Britton booked for time wasting here. Oh, this is getting really, really intense now. Less than 5 minutes. Free kick awarded to Ipswich, though. You'd feel now they've probably got 2 to 3 more potential big chances they could create to potentially get something here. Free kick comes in. Headed. Not quite cleared. Oh, handball's been given against Ipswich there, and it is going to be a free kick to Middlesbrough. Very unfortunate. Yeah, it's a handball. Right. Free kick's already been played out, actually. Quite careful, Morris, there, but he's done really well, I've got to say. He's done really well. Headed by Greaves. It's really been back and forth. Basketball match at the moment, just going back and forth. Oh, good pressing from Jack Clark. He's trying to get something to happen, but nothing has quite fallen for him. Oh, it's not the best of goal kicks from Walton there, especially if it's found its way straight to Alan Brown. Oh, no, to Aidan Morris, sorry. Right. Ipswich now on it. All right, that's going to be a free kick, but he's played on. That's good refereeing there, actually. Right, Mehmeti to Leif Davis. Headed away again. Sarmiento did really well to win the interception there for that. Oh, and Neil getting into the game now. Lots of involvement there. Middlesbrough players trying to stay down. He can get back up on his feet. Referee's not having it. And here's a chance for Silvera, who I've not seen a lot of since he's been substituted on, but this is the longest I've seen him on. Shrugged off Egeli here. So now it's Middlesbrough who's looking more likely to get the goal. Gosh, it's just so twisty and turny, this one. Really twisty and turny. Sarmiento on the left-hand side. He's got 3 players to beat. He will do well. Aidan Morris slips over, but he manages to still shield the ball. Right, now it's Ipswich on with the attack. They're going on for the counter-attack. Jack Clark, he's got some support. He's going to go on his own. Oh, and he's been awarded as a dive for George Hurst. I'm very disappointed in Hurst for that. I really am. Jack Clark is very unselfish there. This is actually one of the rare times I probably would have actually wanted him to run on his own. But he's unselfish, tries to give it to Hurst. It's a bit of a tussle between him and I think Del Fry, or maybe Callum Britton actually. Ooh, careful. Steve Davis trying to head into his own goal. Right, Ipswich again on the ball. The crowd are really cheering him on, trying to be the 12th man here. Jack Clark to Jack Taylor now. Mehmeti. It's been muscled off the ball there. Oh, that's a good bit of play for Middlesbrough in the centre of the pitch. Ayling. Whittaker. Great tackle. Right. Leif Davis. Jack Clark. No, that's nothing will be given to that. Hurst is just trying to win a foul when he can, but I think it's clear that the referee's been told that he's had a reputation of being quite soft in those challenges. Right, only 30 seconds. Only 30 seconds. This will be a very good weekend for Southampton if it stays like this. Right. Potential last chance for Ipswich. Free kick awarded to Ipswich and a yellow card awarded to Sarmiento. Dirty play, but understandable in this stage of the game. Literally pulls down Jack Taylor there. Right, so we've made it to the 98th minute now. This is going to be the last attack of the game, I think. So this, to me, is over for Middlesbrough's top 2 chances. This is now just a question of whether Ipswich will extend their lead. It's not the best of free kicks. And that's the full-time whistle. Ipswich still remains second. But realistically now, they need to beat Southampton in their catch-up game because of this now. Jack Clark is not happy at all. Boris is also trying to talk to the referee. Oh, I've got to say, Jack Clark's got to be quite careful here. Helberg, I think he's not happy either. He's talking about the penalty. I think that's what a lot of them are talking about here. Gosh, this is, yeah. I mean, it's not quite handbags, but certainly I think a lot of the Middlesbrough players are not happy with the referee giving the penalty. Helberg doesn't look too happy either, but he's kept his calm. So he would definitely not want to get sent off to the stands at this stage of the season. Right. It's full time at Portman Road. 2-2 between Ipswich and Middlesbrough. I'll show you what that means for the championship table now. Right, Dale Fry and Jacob Greaves exchanging some words at the moment. Helberg being the professional, trying to get them clear. Some definitely strong words being shared. Some frustrations, I think, for both of them because they both would have wanted the 3 points. None of them have got it and ultimately are both frustrated as a result. It's not the vintage Ipswich performance that they somehow still got a draw. But a big opportunity missed. Greaves is not happy. Greaves is like really not happy at all with any of that squad, but can't say he covered himself in much glory, really. He hasn't been too amazing defensively. So, as you see in the table, top 2, it is Coventry and Ipswich. But Millwall joint on points. Goal difference-wise, I don't think we'll overtake Ipswich. But Millwall, I've got to say, I think I've got 3 nice games. They've got Leicester coming up, who I think would already be relegated. Why has it been really slow for me? We also have Millwall, Stoke, who I think they could get a result with as well. And then their last game, as mentioned already in the chat, is Oxford. So Millwall have to face 2 of the bottom 3. Who would have already likely have been relegated by this point. Ipswich, they have got to play Charlton, which will be an awkward game, already beating them this season. They've got West Brom, who will be an awkward game, since they're not going to be safe from their points deduction potentially looming at this point. They've got Southampton, who are probably the most difficult team to play against right now in the league. I've got to say, whilst Middlesbrough may have lost the chance to get into the top 2, the Middlesbrough fans are singing their hearts out. They are very proud of this team, and I think they deserve to. They've done really, really well. I'm going to do a live stream of I called them Yorkshire. Rochdale versus York. I'd like to. Whether I can, I don't know if I can. But oh my gosh, both are so relentless. Both are so relentless. I thought it was going to be it when Rochdale were drawing, but Desiree so many times with a late goal, 99th minute winner for Rochdale, keeping the race alive. I mean, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Middlesbrough, talking through their next few games from memory. They've got some nice ones. I mean, they've got Sheffield Wednesday coming up, which should be 3 points. Then it's Watford, and then it's Wrexham. So, to me, I think Middlesbrough can at least pick up 6 points, which should bring them on 79. I mean, it's Southampton. Southampton is the one causing the problem now. Now that they've actually butted into the race. Yeah, Southampton with 2 home games. They've got Bristol City and Ipswich, of course, in those 2 home games. Their away games, which are probably going to be where they're most vulnerable. Who have they got on the final day? Preston. Preston will be on the beach. They'll be able to get around them there. And then, yeah, they've got the home game there, haven't they? Already done this one. So, in fact, no. So, technically, Southampton have played 44 when they do eventually play against Ipswich. So, yeah, 1 home game. Yeah, 2 home games, technically, and 1 away game left. The away game's against Preston. So, based on what I've seen here today, I think Championship-wise, obviously, Coventry up. Amazing. I didn't even really speak about Coventry, but unbelievable. Obviously, I've heard a lot about their successes in the First Division, but I was a little bit before my time. I was born in 2000, where it was their last season in the Premier League, actually, as it was. So it would be great to see them go back to that division and actually watch them and appreciate what they can do. For me, second place is Southampton. I think it will be Southampton. Southampton, for me, will get second. Third, I think, will be Millwall. I think Millwall will get third, Ipswich fourth, and Middlesbrough fifth. And if that happens, it means the game we just saw, Ipswich-Middlesbrough, will be a playoff semi-final. Wow. That gives us a lot of excitement, but it's not a great result for Ipswich, I've got to be honest. Not a great result for Middlesbrough either, but looking that they've got 2 very nice home games coming up, that might be a good opportunity for Middlesbrough to start building up some momentum, and they could be very proud, Middlesbrough, of their performance, and I think if they can bring that and just be a bit more confident against a low block, I think they will put some form of pressure, but realistically, if they only pick up 6 points out of their last 9, they'll only be on 79 points, and that won't be enough to get top 2. So, playoffs, I think it is for Middlesbrough. Ipswich technically still in the race, but they've got to be near perfect now if they want to get promoted. So it's up to them. It's in their hands. Okay, so I think that wraps it up. What a very topsy-turvy game that was. If you enjoyed the stream, please like, share, subscribe. It really does help. Thank you for tuning in today. Whether I do another stream, I don't know. It's really just going to be down to availability and stuff. But thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Hope you have a good rest of your day. We're now going to tune over and watch the Premier League 2 o'clocks, including the Merseyside Derby. And that's going to be then followed by the big game at the top, Man City Arsenal. Score prediction for me for that one, I think it's going to be 1-0 City. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are legendary Sony of the stream. And as always, I'll see you guys soon. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you on Monday when I do my midweek, week 44 score prediction.